Perfect cut. Hey everybody, it's Paul Lemiski from Legacy Lumber, Canadian Woodworks. Today we're back for another Slaburday Saturday, something a little different. We're sawmilling dimensional lumber, one red oak log and one white oak log. Hope you enjoy the video. We're gonna go ahead, head out to the log yard. We're gonna take both the telehandler as well as the mini excavator because the logs are kind of scattered all over the place, and I can also pile on way more logs onto the telehandler by loading it with the excavator. Very, very nice. The arm can reach over onto the log pile, pluck it up, and then place it nicely down on the forks if everything goes to plan. So we're gonna pick up about 3 or 4 white oak logs and another 3 or 4 red oak logs. They're all gonna be about 18 to 20 inch diameter, maybe a little less. And we're gonna be slicing up dimensional lumber in this video. So it'll be straight edge, traditional sawmilling is what I call it. 99% of the time around here, we're sawing live edge lumber, which is basically put the log on there, slice it down halfway, roll the log fully over, slice it down all the way, and you're done. In this situation, we're gonna be placing the log on the sawmill. We're gonna be rolling it to the direction that we want. We're then gonna take a waste cut, which is cuts off the jacket of the log basically, which we do burn later on to heat our shop. So basically we're creating almost zero waste. We have a little bit of sawdust that we don't really do anything with, but other than that, the actual waste that we create, we burn in our wood boiler to heat the shop and heat our kilns. We're gonna be using the Kubota tractor to grab one log at a time, turn it around, put the fence up on the wood miser. So I try, doesn't always work. I like to come up close to it, get a little angle going, and actually hop out of the Kubota and myself just kind of lightly slide the log onto the mill without much abuse on the sawmill. From there, we're gonna clamp the log down, take that waste cut, and start cutting dimensional lumber. The first slices are gonna have live edges on it until we roll the log around. We're gonna take the one side, the next side, the next side, and finally the fourth side until we have a cant, which is a square, could be rectangle, but all 4 sides are now cut and there's no outside of the tree left on. There's no live edge left. From there, we're gonna be grade sawing it. So you're gonna look at the cant, decide which faces are the nicest, and you're gonna sawmill those down first. So we will actually be rolling the log, getting various widths as we slice the cant up into 8-quarter lumber, which is 2-inch thick lumber. All right, we're back from the log yard. We got a collection of white oak and red oak logs. We're gonna grab it with the Kubota and we're gonna get these logs onto the sawmill. Let's go ahead, make some sawdust. I'm gonna do this just because my wife said it's cringeworthy. Parkour! You mind operating the clamp while I hold this? It's actually red oak. Now I'm gonna go down to the next 8 on my scale, cut another board. That one's gonna have a live edge on both sides. Put that off to the side. I'll deal with that when I'm done the log itself. Then from there, I'll probably be rolling the log and taking an outside cut and a board. Rolling the log, taking an outside cut and a board. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so now we're down to a square cant. We're just gonna take the nicest faces and start cutting those first. So you can see we got some knots on here. This one's a really clean face, a little bit of defect here, knots on this face. So chances are it's this face or the bottom face. I'm gonna take probably a board or two off of here and then maybe roll the log over. It's funny how you can look at a board on one side and it'd be pretty much completely clean, and the knots are actually to the inside. All right, some of you might know, some of you might not know. About a year and a half ago now, I broke my ankle, trimalleolar fracture. Broke it both sides as well as the back of it. Literally standing right here, cutting oak dimensionally, just with a cant, just like this. It was a bit bigger. What did I do? What was my mistake? I can tell you right now, I was rushing a little bit. I was trying to teach Troy, my yard manager here at Legacy Lumber, how the ins and outs, we'll say, of sawing dimensional lumber. And what did I do? I made one critical error, that when I want to roll this square cant, I do use my cant hook, because the hydraulic log turner is going to put a lot of dents and it's going to tear the edge up really, really bad. So I do like manually turning the cant at this point. Now when it's a square cant and it's tight against the fence, it's difficult to roll. So normally I would take my cant hook here and I bump it away just like this. It's going to take you an extra 45 seconds to walk to this end, to walk to that end, and give it a few inches off of the fence, and now it will be very easy to roll. I didn't do that. And you can see how at the end is brittle. So if it's a difficult thing to roll over and you're closer to the end, there's a higher likelihood of an accident happen. The wood physically broke right here, and Paul was giving it too hard. He didn't follow his own instructions, really, that he's done for years. And he tried to roll a log once. I'm talking like I'm talking about him. It's me, I'm the dummy. I went to roll it, it didn't roll. I then really jumped up, log broke. I fell backwards, and like within 1 second, I was on the ground. Troy says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I don't know." And then he kind of chuckled a little bit. He's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" And then I lifted my foot up, and then my foot was just dangling. And then I knew I was not okay. I then went to the hospital. Troy took me. Thankfully, this happened at 10:30 a.m., and I was already in surgery in my local hospital by 7:30 the same evening. Went home the next morning, ended up with about 16 to 18 screws in my ankle from both sides, as well as a plate. But our healthcare system, thankfully, is fantastic. We live in Canada. I'm very thankful to be here and doing what we do, and then sharing what we do also. I also like having my manual cant hook here towards the end. That way we don't have a big dent right in the middle, if you can. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna roll this, and we're gonna continue making lumber now. That's how easy it should be. You shouldn't have to jump up on your cant hook and reef on the wood to bring it down. So now looking at this face, it's actually nice and clean. So I'm probably gonna take some cuts off of here even before I take it from here, because I know these knots are just gonna continue down. So I got a nice clean face here. Real-time speed, baby. All right, we're back with another water pop. Let's do it. All right, with one lift done, we're gonna start stickering it. If you didn't know, wood is full of water and it needs to air dry and then go through a kiln. Now we have to put spacer sticks in between the layers. These are called stickers. So these are the spacer sticks. Now these ones are specially made by a company called Breeze Dry in Tillsonburg, Ontario. And you can see how they have these flutes on it. So what this does is create minimal contact with the wood. You'll have less chance of staining or any mold building up. And also inside a kiln, the airflow is better because it lets air actually go in between all of these flutes. So every little detail from cutting the tree down to how you stack the lumber is very, very important along the journey from tree to table. Oh, I think we got white oak, folks. Beautiful stuff. The smell is completely different than the red oak. The sawdust is a different color. Got a diamond in the rough here, folks. Diamond in the rough. I'm actually happy with that cut. I'm gonna roll the log right now. All right, the white oak log is done. We're gonna give you a sweet water pop, show off the grain, and then we're gonna measure this one up here, know the board footage, and add up its value also. Let's water pop, 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 water pop, 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 water pop! We're gonna give this a quick measure. So we're very easily gonna be able to measure the length, multiply that by the full width, multiply it by the thickness. We're gonna divide it by 144, and that's gonna tell us the board footage of how much wood we just cut. 108 inches long times 75 inches in the total width. 73. 73, folks. Times 2. We're gonna divide that number by 144. So we just cut 109 board feet, and we have a cost of red oak being around probably $2.50 to $2.80 once dry. So we're gonna times that by we'll go $2.80. So we got about $300 worth of lumber there once it's dry. Okay, so the white oak log here, same length, 108 inches, 53 inches wide, so a little less on the width. And we're gonna be multiplying that by the same thickness, 2 inches, divide it by 144, and that will give us our board footage of about 80 board feet in that log. The big difference here is white oak's gonna run you about $12 a board foot retail. All right, there you go, folks. Another Slaburday Saturday. While the plane flies overhead, it's a beautiful day. I should actually be in a t-shirt right now. And we cut some beautiful lumber. We got one red oak log and one white oak log. We got about 100, we're gonna call it 100 board feet in the red oak log. And as I mentioned, you have about $2.50, maybe $3 a board foot for that. So we're at about a $300 retail price once the lumber is dried. And in the white oak though, you have less lumber. We have about 80 board feet, but you're gonna be about $12 a board foot, maybe even more some places. So you're more like $900 to $1,000 worth of lumber out of the white oak log. The time it took to actually sawmill the lumber is actually less than the time it took to go and just get the logs from my yard. We're gonna sit at about 20 minutes per log with this. So, you know, during a day by myself, I should be able to saw minimum 1,000 board feet, fill this rack up, and maybe even another half of one. So we're gonna have lunch now. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll be coming at you with another Tool Tuesday on Tuesday, and then a weekly Woodworking Life vlog. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when our new videos come out, and comment below, let us know what you think. Thanks everyone, make it a great one.